We restructured the KCP loan in 2014. There is a letter from KCP confirming the restructuring. And then on the issue of evidence that we are getting subsidized fertilizer from cereals, that is on page 3, Annex B1.
And I want you also to note, colleagues, on Annex A1, this is an issue of 2014. And remember, we are reviewing the accounts of 2009-2010. So that is completely outside the latitude of the year under review. B1 is dated July 26th. Am I right?
Yes, yes, yes.
That is way, way out of the year under review, more than 10 years. Or thereabout. No, more than 10 years, 14 years. What we are addressing, but we are looking at the year 2009-2010. Proceed.
On page
C1.
Yes, C1 on page 7. That is the insurance policy.
I can only be able to read the word, we keep our word. Any other thing I don't know. When is it dated?
It is, if you continue to page 9, you will see clearly. It was 2014 insurance.
On page
from
9.
CIC on page 9.
I don't have page 9 with me. I have page 6 or page 11. Sawa. So what is page 9? Yeah.
That is the policy.
That's maize multiple crop insurance.
Yes.
So that is insurance for 2014. Am I right?
Yes, yes, sir.
And look at your response. You said in your response to us, you said the corporation procured and will continue to procure. Those are the words you've used. So this is 2014. We want to see the policy that you procured in 2009-2010. So, but we'll come back, proceed, finalize. And then D1.
Yeah, D1 on page 27.
D1 is again talking another story.
Is on subsidized, is still in support of subsidized fertilizer.
This is 2023. The document you've attached is 2023. But your subsidized fertilizer response talks of 2009, 2010. So what you've responded to is only the situation as it has been corrected. But where is the response to the question, the query, as it is?
Yeah, in that particular financial year, I think the corporation was not getting the subsidized fertilizer. So, but subsequently, when that issue was raised, it became an audit issue. The issue of financial performance is when we started now requesting the government to approve for us the subsidized fertilizer, which we never got in that particular financial year. And it was responsible for the poor performance of the organization because of the high input costs.
Dr. Tanui, answer the questions that have been put before you. The question talks of 2009, 2010. yourself, it is you who gave the auditors the attributes that there was poor weather condition. So we want you to tell us, what did you do on the poor weather condition? You are the one who gave the attributes that you did not make it because of high input costs. Give us the evidence to support your activities towards reducing the high input costs for 2009-2010. You cannot give us the remedies in 2023. Give us the evidence or your efforts on significant administrative costs. I have not seen any. Finally, the issue of interest expenses. What are you giving us? Yourself, you firmed up and said you've procured and will continue to procure insurance policy. Give us the evidence. Yourself, you have said the government of Kenya through NCPB has been providing the cooperation with subsidized fertilizer. Give us the evidence in 2011, 2012, thereabout, which now clearly supports your argument, so that we don't belabor an issue. If there is no evidence, you've not responded, let us know, so that we move forward.
Honorable Chair, these were the issues which were found in that particular financial year. So what the corporation could only do is, after that, how do you remedy it? Because it is a situation where there was nothing you could do in that particular. These are not that is carried out at the end of the financial year. So you can only do, you can come in with an intervention measure subsequently.
And that is why I want you to put what you are saying, that the corporation did not intervene until the year 2023. That is what I want to hear from. Don't make it to me to write it for you. So can you confirm that the ministry, the corporation did not intervene until the year 2023? From the time the query was raised to the year 2023 is when you intervened. Then we move forward.
Sorry, Chair. I think there were intervention measures.
Where are they?
From that 20. It's only that we could not trace, because it's how many years now. We tried retrieving the evidence from 2011, we could not get, because it's over 10 years.
So then are you ready to proceed? Because what you've given me here is irrelevant.
Maybe one of my staff who is in procurement can clarify on that issue if you allow.
Mheshimiwa has a point of order here first.
Thank you. Dr. Tanoi, we know you were not in the office then. That's not the issue. But when you assume the responsibility, all those baggage comes with it. What we want you to do is to have a sincere answer, which you failed to reply to the auditors, and now you are failing again to address us. If you don't know, just say, I don't know. You should have even said it here. For example, if the auditors pick a query, that means something went wrong. If you agree with them, you say, yes, something went wrong. But what was it that was done? If there's nothing, just say it's nothing, because what we are probing to get out of you is going to the floor of the House with so many MPs. I mean, we cannot just get kind of shallow responses and lift it up, or you just leave it to us now to take, to respond the way we have heard of you. So in other words, Chair, we are bending backwards to accommodate the client, that this is a serious issue where money is lost, and honesty really can be a cutting figure for us to move on. If you don't know, just say you don't know. If there's nothing done, But saying that you cannot trace, that is even another, in a government entity, you cannot trace documents. And now you are inviting the procurement officer, which you ought to have talked to before you responded to the auditors. You see, now you are taking us in circles. And actually, Chair, this pertains to almost all the questions in this 209-2010. So my guide to you is that be honest. The responses are not good. That is for sure. You could make them better through honesty. You know, you don't know, whatever. And then we move on, Chair.
Mheshimiwa Nabwini.
Thank you, Chair. Just picking up from what colleagues have put. Dr. Tonui, we're looking at the financial statement for this financial year. The purpose of the audit is to look at whether public funds were utilized in that particular year or not. And now the queries are out here. So we don't expect you to go into some fishing expedition looking for what happened thereafter. We want to know where this money, what happened to the finances or the public funds that were utilized by the corporation at that time. So we want to find out a number of things, like Chair, one, you know, the response to bad weather or poor weather conditions, again, is not satisfactory, because it cannot be an excuse that either there was an El Nino or there was drought. That is not what we want to hear. We want to hear how the corporation was prepared to mitigate bad weather or the El Nino that came there, during that period. When you say it just happened that bad weather came through and we lost crops, we lost what? No. It seems the corporation is not doing what is expected of it. We have institutions that give early warnings. How do you utilize, as a corporation, those reports to prepare farmers or to prepare yourself for the ADC farms to be able to, mitigate the effect of bad weather? Those are the things we want to hear. When you launch, when you say you reconciled with the Kenya Commercial Bank on the interest expenses, and to make it even worse, the dates of that reconciliation is far too far from the year of review. So Chairman, there's a problem with the responses. They are not giving us exactly what happened, because that is where that is what we want to hear. What happened? Where is this money? We want to tell the public, because when this report goes to Parliament, the public will be watching to hear what happened to these millions of money that was lost in the corporation. Thank you, Chair.
I want you to respond to those concerns by my colleagues, so that I can give direction and way forward.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, what I would say is that, yes, I've heard you. I think what we would do is we will respond for exactly what happened, why we are having these losses in that particular financial year. I thought we were expected to give reasons why we had that kind of performance, at the same time give the current status. That is what I thought.
But what you've said is not what you've done. That is what is expected of you.
Yes.
To respond to the issues and give current status.
Okay, maybe now.
Listen to me. And even the status you've given in form of the 2023 is not the current status. So you failed on three fronts. You tried to respond to the current status, but that is not even the current status as we speak now. Number two, you've not responded to the question in audit. The question under audit, for example, the issue of interest. Look at the way this letter A1, for example. A1 is simply acknowledging and putting in various figures. You need to interpret. I want to engage the head of finance, because you could not be a man of numbers. You could be the CEO, but you're not a man of numbers. I want to engage the head of finance. And I want you to move forward and explain to us, if somebody gives you this letter today, and you use this letter as a response to the question raised under investigation, under review, that interest expenses contributed to your poor performance. How can you, if I give you this document today, this document is addressing a loan of 320 million. This document is addressing about 3-4 bank accounts with 0 balances and instructing you on how to pay 10 million shillings per month. How do you attribute this as a restructure to interests?
Okay, thank you, Chair. On the aspect of restructuring, the initial loan was not actually a loan. It was an overdraft facility, which was for a short time.
That bit you know. I'm asking you that you have given me this document. Remember, I'm going on the floor on your behalf with my colleagues. Here is this document. The question is on interest. Tell me on the write-up in the management response where it has indicated any summary to respond to interest, and this paper is the evidence that I have. Maybe take me through, where is it?
Okay, thank you, Chair. I note the concerns raised, and I think we need to improve on the response to capture that.
Correct. CEO, what you've given me is sending me to chase after what I don't know. So I'm left with only one alternative. Please prepare your response. Help me to also become aware of what happens in ADC. The annexes you give me should be supportive enough to help me argue out the issues, or help me make a report that is independent in mind of this committee. So that when I'm saying we must take action on this CEO, there should be evidence good enough so that nobody can wake up tomorrow and say our decision was biased. That is what I'm looking for, CEO.
Yes, I think you are right, Chair, that what we should have provided is actually evidence supporting the contribution of, supporting that the interest were contributing to the losses.
Correct.
Yes.
And what, in as much as you are making out of that decision, how are you arriving at it?
And then we give current status now that this is what we have done.
That's what I want from you.
So I think it's well noted, sir.
If we can go that route, then the only option remaining is to step you down, reorganize your house. We should be able to invite you for another time, the way Mheshimiwa Nabwini is saying. But give the corporation secretary a comment. I don't know if she has gotten what is expected from you, your team.
Honorable Chair and honorable members, thank you for this opportunity. We have received your guidance, and we will guide the management on the best way to handle the parliamentary responses. I think, Chair, the challenge was because of the period that this audit cycle was done, and we could only capture the mitigation measures that came thereafter, not during that period. But now we are guided on a better way to respond. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I want to hear any comment from the OAG, because from the way these responses are going, actually I now agree with you that it might have been, it's difficult to make a headway until this is reorganized and resubmitted afresh. Maybe may I hear any comment from you?